I mean, it was one of them days, man. So,
it was one of those days.
You got to fish, blowing 25 knots. Everybody's getting busted up. I hooked myself. We foul hooked the sailfish that went absolutely crazy and wrapped around the motors, and there was no way of getting them out of there.
It was just one of those days from as soon as we started. Made for a great story, though.
Thank goodness we were in Key West.
Simrad's Into the Blue, presented by Yellowfin, with Captain Scott Walker and Captain Steve Roger.
Scotty, I'm glad you made it down. I know the wind's blowing finally. You get these kites up.
Yeah. Sounds like the fish might even be biting, huh?
Yeah, there's some fish biting. Hopefully we can get on them. It's not the perfect watercolor, but there was a lot of bites yesterday, so we're going to give it a shot. They're kind of small. Hopefully they can eat this bait we're about to buy. But the plan is to get out there and do some drifting. When it's rough like this, you don't really want to anchor down because it just beats on you. Every wave is beating you, you know? Whereas when you're drifting, you kind of float along with those waves, and it just doesn't hurt your body as much.
Oh, not these boats.
No, not at all. And then again, the wind's a bonus because we'll be able to get the kite up. So let's head on out, and I'll untie us if you want to keep doing your thing, and we'll move on. We had one of them days where you got to go, no matter what the wind is and no matter what Mother Nature sends you. Sometimes you got to go, and we really wanted to try to get out there and get them kites up and do some sail fishing.
We wanted to kite fish, all week, and there was no wind.
Right.
And when we got the wind, it was a little more than we bargained for.
Yeah, it wasn't a little bit of wind. It was 25 knots of wind.
Yeah, with our Yellowfin and our Simrad equipment, that was never an issue of not being safe, just how much could our bodies take, and that was about the threshold limit for mine.
Absolutely, but obviously if we're going to hang the kites and it's blowing 20 knots plus, 25 knots, you need a heavy bait to hang. So what we did was we decided to call up Don. He sells live bait down there in Key West, and we ran down there and picked up some live goggle eyes.
The welcome committee's there, the puppies. Got 3 this time. Good morning.
Looking for 3 dozen?
We're going to do 2, and then we're going to get 2 tomorrow.
All right.
Is that cool? The thing about goggle eyes are, and you see us buying them, 99% of the time we catch all our own bait. But when it comes to the gogs, we usually buy them because it's a nighttime fishery, and when you're running charters and you're working and you're raising a family, night fishing kind of goes away.
Yeah.
When I was a young kid,
you don't have a good excuse for that one.
Yeah.
There's no excuse for that one, especially raising a family. But there's guys that will do that, and they pen up really great. So they can charge anywhere from $50 to $100 a dozen for them, and it's worth it because everyone's a bite. And they catch them, they keep them in their cages. I prefer buying them out of a cage because they've been in there for 2 or 3 weeks, and they become super baits. So buying a goggle eye is always a good call.
The other great thing about that fish is, if you do buy it, and you don't use it, you can bring it home, throw it in the trash can, with some holes in it, throw it in the canal, and that thing will live another 12 weeks until you decide to go fishing again. They're a really, really hardy bait.
You actually get to use every one you buy. All right, Stevie boy!
You ready?
Well, can we go catch some threadfins too?
Yeah, man.
All right.
My favorite sailfish bait, probably yours as well, is a herring. I love a threadfin herring. If they see a threadfin herring, about 99.9% of the time they're going to eat it. It's a great bait.
They don't look at a herring and think about it.
No.
When they feel there's one around, they're on their way charging to eat it. The herrings really move around.
That's it. So we picked up some herring. I mean, it was rough as all get out at the marker. It started to rain, pour down rain. So we decided to just make it simple.
Yeah, we knew we weren't going to be traveling a great distance. We just had to get into the zone where the fish were and start drifting. I mean, we didn't have to go 20, 30, 40 miles in any direction. We just had to get out to 120, 130, 140, 50 feet.
Yeah, that was the great thing. It was one drift. We set up a drift.
Could have been better.
Well, what I wanted to do was line it up from the herring to the reef to get some ballyhoos as well. There's been some sailfish eating, this time of year, ballyhoos seems to be one of the main baits that the sailfish are eating on the reef. So I wanted to have those as well. So we had 3 of the top sailfish baits you could have.
Plan was perfect.
Yeah.
Stop and buy bait. Jig a few with the quills, 1 block of chum for the ballyhoos, no chum at all for the threads. And in less than 1 hour, we left the dock and we had 2 dozen gogs, 3 dozen threads, 3 dozen ballyhoos. I mean, that's all the bait you need for double digits.
If I had somebody requesting nothing but a sailfish, we had it.
There's another one chasing. Wants to get in on the action.
One of them I got by the tail.
Oh my God, that is a monster school of Mexico bait there, baby.
Simrad's Into the Blue, presented by Yellowfin, is brought to you in part by Simrad. Go with confidence. Bass Pro Shops. Your adventure starts here. Yellowfin, only in a Yellowfin. Key West, close to perfect, far from normal. Shimano. And by Costa, Tailwalker Charters. And Under Armour.
How's our drift before we start? Are we going
Perfect.
down?
Right
Okay.
down to sea, a little inshore.
All right, so we need to
What I'm going to do is,
hold kites.
I'm going to throw out a couple flat lines just to have so we're fishing right away.
All right.
And then we'll start getting the kites set up, and I'll help you out with that.
I don't think we've fished anything rougher than this ever. Why not? Always something new.
Definitely got plenty wind for flying kites. Whenever I'm kite fishing, Scott, I just immediately when I come off the plane, get a bait out, because with the pelagic fish, you never really know where they are. So the sooner you get a bait in the water, the sooner you're already starting to hunt and figure it out, what depth the bites are in,
Find out how these old kites are going to last today.
That's bait well too, correct? Okay. How deep, Scott?
143.
What you want to do with these kite baits is get them right on the surface to where you're keeping as much of the leader as possible out of the water. What that does is that just perfect presentation. When that, pelagic fish swims up with those giant eyeballs, what you want him to see is just that bait right on the surface. So if you can man your rods and do your best you can to keep them right flickering on the top, not too high to where they'll die because of the lack of oxygen. You want to keep their gills in the water so they can breathe, but just play right there, teeter right on the surface, and that's the best spot to be.
It's big out here, Stevie boy.
Definitely plenty room in the parking lot today. Park wherever you want.
Steve's got us out here with the knowledge that other charter boats have been catching sails in 150 feet. So we come out to 150 feet, just set the boat in a drift. So we're just laying in a trough, slowly rolling. And now we got the 36 yellowfin set up with a kite on the bow and a kite on the stern. They're 30 feet apart, plus the kites are weighted to bank further out. So now we're effectively over 100 feet wide with 4 baits going 100 feet down that way. So we got a 100-foot square of goggle ice covering the downwind side of the boat. And while we're doing that, Steve put out ballyhoos on the upwind side that we're actually just dragging. So we're trolling ballyhoos and we're kite fishing goggle ice and thread fins.
Mike.
What do you got, bud?
A lot of head shaking.
Little baby, come on.
There are
Right on your
fish.
feet, Stevie boy.
Look, man, the mic's hanging and swinging. Caught me off guard, brother. And left my perch. There are fish out here when it's blowing 30. I still cannot ID this thing yet. Might be a bonita or something. I mean, it hasn't run at all. And all it does is shake a head back and forth like I said it would do. But I think by now he's done aired out.
Woo, that's a nice one. That was over my head.
Big old blackfin. See what I know?
Dinner. Want me to net him or tail him for you?
You can just tail him.
That's a nice one.
We'll take that.
Didn't you say you were going to take me out for sushi for dinner tonight?
That's what we're going to do. Now we don't have to go out. We can just make it.
Right on the boat. That is nice. We'll get this thing in the boat, get him on ice.
One more for that canned tuna fish.
Oh, thank you. I'm going to do it. I want to do a lot of it.
Beautiful fish, man. Thank you, Scotty.
Circle hook.
Boy, he is pretty. Look at them golds and blacks, man.
I just love that purple. All the purples in the salt water just amaze me.
Got gold and black, purple in the middle.
Yep. Dinner.
All right, I'll trade you. I'll take your fish, and then you,
I'll bait you up.
Yeah, if you'll get me a ballot here, that'd be awesome. Thanks, sir. What I was saying about that kite, you really want to get that bait right on the surface flipping around, because if you got all that leader in the water, you're not going to get these bites. You know, even though we got that one on the flat line, you're going to get a lot more bites if you can kite fish and keep that leader out of the water, because look at the size of that eye. I mean, that is an enormous eye. They can see what's going on. There's a lot of history on this island. Southernmost point of the continental United States. It's really cool. You get Hemingway House. You know, a couple of maritime museums, you know, with the Mel Fisher days they have, where they have a huge event go on, and, you know, all the treasure that has been brought into this place. This was a happening place way back in the day from the pirate days.
I get emails every week asking me what is my favorite reel. Without a doubt, hands down, it's the Shimano Talica 25 2-speed. If you need one reel to go anywhere in the world, this is it. Lightweight, 2-speed, tons of drag. You can put 40 pounds of drag on this and still have ultimate free spool. But the beauty of it is you can go from kite fishing in the Keys to trolling for white marlin in the mid-Atlantic to catching blue marlins in the Caribbean. One reel does it all. You can stick 20-pound test on this or 60 or 80-pound test on this. If you want to go long-range tuna fishing, you can fill this thing full of 80, set the drag to 40, and hold on for dear life. It's effortlessly to hold and use. Has great pickup speed. You put this in a kite, sail bites, and you're long, 3 or 4 cranks, you're tight to your fish. If you can only take one reel with you anywhere you go, it's got to be the Talica 25 2-speed. For more tips, go to inthebluefishing.com and we'll show you how to do it.
Supposed to hook them in the lip.
Wow, that'll finish up the smoker real nice.
Is that one you want to grab? For your buddy or what?
No, that's not going to happen.
Open the cooler, I'll drop him right in. You get a hold of his tail and I'll take the hook out. Before you even lift him out of the water.
I don't want to bend in the pole.
Right. Get a hold of his tail. And then never lift him out of the water and I'll take the hook out.
There we go. Take that spring action out of it.
Cool,
all right,
man.
Throwing in the smoker.
Well, I think the first tune ate a ballot. But I think after that, pretty much everything I caught was on that Colt Sniper. And
including yourself.
Yeah, it's just a cool bait to have. You know, oh yeah, exactly. We're gonna get there. But it's just a cool bait to have when you're drifting along. You know, this thing, it's so quick to the bottom, so casts so well if you want to shoot it out to the side, if you see a dolphin going by. You know, I preach it all the time, but you got to have some objects tied to your rods. You know, you need to have a topwater lure, you need to have something that'll sink, and you need to have a hook. Always ready, so no matter what happens, you're ready to go. You know, this thing was on there, and I just worked it back and forth, and, you know, we caught a couple more tunas, a couple nice kingfish, you know, respectable kingfish. And then I even caught myself, no, I caught a bonita, and then I caught myself. Got that one in my finger. All right, Scott. Finally, it's your turn to pull the hook out of my finger.
How far in?
Past the bar. You know, it was a moment where I thought, you know, how are we going to do with this? You know, how did I want to do it? Because I know the rip out method. And I've done it to you, and you've done it a bunch.
What you got, bud? Ice in a bucket or what?
I don't know.
Pretty windy out here. I'll get a bucket ice down for you.
But it came to how do I want to get it out of there? And, you know, finally what I needed was what you said is, dude, let me just rip it out. Because I was overthinking about it, you know?
Yeah, the rolling it out would have been bad.
Yeah, and it was a tight hook and a real strong hook. We couldn't break it with any of the pliers.
No.
It's what you want, a good strong hook, just not when it's in your hands.
Just hold it down and it's going to come right out.
One, or whatever.
Just don't, are you ready?
I just want to make sure it don't roll.
Are you all ready? It's
yeah.
not going to roll.
All right. Sweet, baby.
Woo! It wasn't going to roll, baby.
No.
Just that little barb, you just can't man out yourself. It just, the barb will let you manly pull it out.
No, man, you just know what it's connected to.
The hook is gone. I can't even show it to you.
Yeah, no, it went flying. Thank you, sir. You know, I take my kids, you know, out on the water as much as I can, and that's the giving down here. You got a beautiful environment with ocean and, you know, 365 days of sun, great weather. That's the giving. But what else it offers is what keeps us here and keeps people coming. Food is second to none anywhere else in the world. It's just a happening place, and I think what I like the most about it is how it's a tight-knit community. You know, if I go to the grocery store, I know everybody in there. And everybody knows me in there, and that's what I really enjoy about the place.
Simrad's Into the Blue, presented by Yellowfin, has been brought to you in part by Yeti, built for the wild. Mercury Marine, #1 on the water. Bubba Blade, the ultimate sportsman's knife. Hawks Cay Resort, the only key you'll need. And by Frable, Spear One Charters, and Ameritrail.
He's on the long. He ate me. I'm just watch over here for a second and third. Here he comes.
Where is he, buddy?
He's coming over to eat again on the right side. He's coming out behind the boat. Come behind the boat. There he is.
Key West in the background. Cruise ship back there.
He is going crazy. Oh, where is he? He's coming on, swimming all the way around the boat.
Let me get out of your way.
He's way up on the back, right where he started from.
Looking for his partner.
There he goes. Yeah.
Oh, that's a good one. Full size, man.
Coming at me, baby. Coming at me. Oh, right in the sun. Tail walking, baby. Go on, give me another bite. Where's your buddies? There he is. Right where we started from. These reels are like butter. 60 inches a turn to the handle. Light as a feather. And a super smooth drag. Went for the motors. He's in the motors.
He's right here.
Around all three of them. Jump in and clear it.
In the water?
It's around both propellers.
Oh man, you go do that.
We went out there to catch a sail. We didn't go out there to kill a sail that day. And as rough as it was, I wasn't going to let him get away with, 500 yards of line on him. So you had to get in the water. After I got used to the waves coming up and down, to get in there and get it off the props and off the rudder.
He'd been toting 2,000 yards of line, and that wouldn't be good for him. But
I don't really condone jumping in the water ever, but I didn't wake up that day to kill sailfish, and I was going to do everything in my power to make sure that we let him go safely like we always do.
Well, I think you put your life at risk, because I don't know how, but I think when you got in and you realized how rough it was, because it was big. I mean, you jumped in.
After a while, we just get so used to it being six foot, you don't think about
how fast.
Yeah, how fast the boat was moving. When I jumped in, the boat was 10 yards away just before I came up for air. That's cool. But I had my socks on for a little extra.
A little extra webbing?
A little extra webbing.
You're like a Labrador Retriever out there.
Beautiful.
All right. Just going to pull on it and it should go away.
There you go. You did the work for you.
Awesome, dude.
Woo!
Good job. All
Clean that up.
I'm
Reload.
Yeah, reload, because we're in a sweet spot right here.
Good spot.
You felt confident. I felt confident when you get in the water. I was just surprised because it's been a long time since I've seen you get in the water.
All those pretty calm days.
Yeah, exactly. It was one of them days. You got to fish, blowing 25 knots. Everybody's getting busted up.
It was just one of those days from as soon as we started. Made for a great story, though.
Thank goodness we were in Key West.
Yeah, for sure.